Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. Puddle lights are a safety and convenience feature found on many new vehicles that illuminate the ground next to the vehicle when you unlock it. Mustang enthusiasts are no doubt familiar with Ford's version of this, which appeared on the 2013 through 2015 Mustang and illuminated the ground in the shape of a running horse. Unfortunately, the only way to get the running horse lights is to buy one of those Mustangs, but if you like the idea and safety and convenience of puddle lights for your 2005 through 2012 Mustang, today we're going to show you how to install them using this puddle light kit from Starkey Products. Starkey offers two versions of the LED. You're going to have either a white light or a blue light. We do suggest the white for maximum light output, but the blue can give you a nice custom touch depending on the color of your car. The Starkey provides everything necessary to add a standard puddle light to your 2005 through 2012 Mustang. The installation of this will require drilling and some custom wiring, but it's not going to be too extensive. Today we're going to show you how to install it. For this installation, we need a 1/4-inch ratchet, 7mm socket, 8mm socket, 11mm wrench, T20 Torx bit, T30 Torx bit, panel removal tool, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, wire strippers, flashlight, drill, 11/16 drill bit, and safety glasses. Because we're messing with the electrical system, the first thing you want to do is disconnect the battery. Before you do that though, put your windows up. It'll make some of the later steps a little bit easier. Once that's done, the first step is to remove the mirrors by taking off the trim panels inside. To get the mirror cover off, you want to pry it from the top here. If you need to, you can put like a small screwdriver or something up in here, but I found if you actually just give it a good squeeze and pull, it'll pop right off. You leave the cover hang. Get the mirror off, you gotta remove these 3 nuts. It can be pretty easy to drop these nuts down in the door panel. If you do, don't worry about it. The door panel will be coming off later. It's easy to retrieve them. The nuts off, disconnect the power harness. Push the mirror through and remove. The next step's going to sound a little bit scary, but take your time, it's not so bad to do. The mirror glass has to be separated from the mirror assembly since we're going to be drilling a hole. To do that, basically want to push down and angle it in. When you look inside, you'll be able to see little clips. What we'll do is we're going to give you a close-up of the clip, and then we're going to pop them off. This is the clip right here. So what we'll do is just sort of pop it off. Once you get that one popped, usually the rest of them are going to come off pretty easily. Remove the glass. With the glass off, you want to cut out the correct template and put them on the bottom of your mirror. Make sure you get the correct one. They are side specific, but they're also year specific. 05 through 09 uses one template, 2010 through 2012 is going to use another. Get it in place, tape it down, so we can drill our hole. You're going to be drilling an 11/16 hole, which is on the larger side. It'll go through plastic easily, but I still suggest put a small pilot hole in the middle to make it easier. Then we can remove our template. Make sure you get all the plastic that we drilled out of the inside of the mirror as well. Remove the white nut from the puddle light. We're going to fish the wire through the hole we just drilled. And reinstall the nut and tighten it down. It's a plastic nut and a plastic light. As long as you got to get your hand in there, it should be plenty tight. No reason to put any tools on it. Now you want to start fishing the wire through the mirror. This area here. Keep it tucked down as best you can so that way it doesn't get stuck with the mirror's mechanism. On the 2010 through 2012s, you have a lot more room for the wire. What we decided to do on our 05, just to make sure the wire didn't get pinched, we drilled an extra hole over here in the plastic and took a little piece out there, so that way the wire can sit right here and sit flush without risking being crimped. Reinstall the mirror. We'll start by fishing our puddle light wiring through. And line up the mirror, studs, and the bolts. And reinstall the nuts. With the mirror mounted, now we're going to remove the door panel so we can fish the wire down and inside the interior to connect it inside. To do that, we start by taking the bolts off the outside edges here and move towards the center. Then we go up to the door handle itself. So you pull it out of it. You need a small little screwdriver or pick, a little plastic panel here, you want to remove it. And then remove the screw behind it. Now the window switch panel, same idea. Use a small pick or screwdriver, get underneath the corner here. Lift up, it's just plastic clips holding it on. Unplug the switch panel, put it out of the way. Another 7mm bolt right behind the switch panel. Moving back on the handle here, pop this plastic trim panel off. And then remove the T30 screw behind it. Now you want to slightly pull up and out on the door panel to release it. You're going to disconnect the harness. You'll need a set of needle nose pliers then to remove the line for the door. The door panel off, we're going to start fishing the wiring. You want to use an existing hole to get the wire into the door. This one up here works pretty well. You simply punch a hole in it, put the wire through there, and we're going to pull it out and fish it into place. Now what we need to do is fish the wire through this black connector right here. This unfortunately is going to be very impossible for us to show you. It's also going to be a little bit difficult to do and can be tedious. You kind of want to leave the door plug connected, start fishing the wire through, just pull this back a little bit so you can see what you're doing. Once you finally get the wires fished to the interior, ready to connect it to the dome light. The way it's going to work is this harness is included by Starkey. These connections here are connected up in the A-pillar to the wires that go to your dome light. This is connected to the passenger side puddle light, and we're going to fish this across and connect this to the driver's side. First thing you want to do with a coupe is pop off the A-pillar. If you have a convertible like ours, you got to start by taking the visor off first, and then this comes off next. At this point, the pillar is just held on by clips. Pull down the front here and separate it. We need to get our wiring harness from the kick panel area up to this plug here. There's two ways to do it. You can try fishing the harness up. With the ends on it, it's probably a little bit harder to do. Better let gravity help you. Start from the top and fish it down. Once we have the wiring through, pull the rest of the harness down through. Make sure all the puddle light connections are down there, and this harness stays up here for now. The connections for a 2005 through 2009 Mustang, the red wire is going to go to the black with a blue, And on 2010 through 2012, the red wire goes to gray with purple. The black wire on 05 through 09 goes to green with yellow, and the black wire on 2010 through 2012 goes to black with yellow. You can see the black with the blue and the green with the yellow. We're going to install the supplied wire taps on those. Tap in place and squeeze it down until it clicks. Our red wire then is going to connect to the black with the blue. And our black wire with green and yellow. At this point, we're going to leave this open like this, make the connections at the puddle lights, and then we're going to test everything before we put it all back together. Starkey provides wire taps to connect the wires from the puddle lights to our main harness. I'm actually just going to use some solderless connectors. I think they're a little bit easier to use. Now we're going to fish the harness over to the driver's side puddle light. There's a main harness here that goes across the front of the floor pan and then goes behind the radio across to the other side. This is the easiest place to try to fish your wire through. Then when you're done, you can also tie the harness right to that factory harness. Now we'll strip the wires, make the same connections on the driver's side. Okay, with the connections made, now we can reconnect our battery, test out our puddle lights. Then you'll want to hit the unlock button to disarm. Your puddle light should turn on. Once we check to make sure our puddle lights are working properly, now we can go back, hide all our wiring, reinstall the panels, and your installation's finished. The puddle lights add a nice element of safety and convenience to your 2005 through 2012 Mustang, and overall the installation is pretty straightforward. The hardest part is fishing the wire from the door to the interior, but if you take your time, you can probably do the whole installation in around 2 hours. You'll be back on the road in no time.